What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Bento Boxcast. It's a podcast
Yeah,
about
yeah,
anime and all things relating to it. Now, as you guys
yeah,
might know, or
yeah.
maybe might not know, a bento box is something really, really cool where you can find tons of things inside of it, and that's kind of what the premises of this podcast is. Where you can find anything and everything relating to anime, Japanese culture, or honestly whatever else we want to put in there. So I guess without further ado, we should kind of introduce who we are. So I'm Hector, and my co-host
I'm
is.
I'm Rafa, and like you were saying about the bento, like the bento box, it's like a lunch box. So you can put whatever you want in there: some rice, some eggs, some fruit, some vegetables. You decide what you want to go in there. That we decide what we want to talk about. That's it. That's it right there. You know.
Definitely, that's a really great way of explaining it. And yeah, so we're just kind of two guys who decided, you know what, we don't see enough anime podcasts just kind of out there, especially on YouTube. I kind of noticed, I don't know about you, Rafa, but I don't see a lot of podcasts that surround anything anime related. And we kind of came up with the idea that why not us? Like, why not us just try to make this our own thing? I know we've had some attempts in the past at just making anime content, and I feel like now's the perfect time, especially with how things are going with just the world right now.
Right. I mean, it's as right now, anime is as big as it's ever is gonna get. If it's gonna get bigger from here because everybody's getting into it. So yeah, why not? Let's do it for sure.
Yeah. So I guess now we kind of got to talk about what to expect. Now that's like a really heavy loaded question, but I feel like kind of like we said with the bento box, there's so much we can talk about. Definitely, you're gonna get anime news, maybe things we really love about anime, the current things we're watching, and just what we think you guys should be watching. There's gonna be so many different topics that we're gonna talk about, and I think this is gonna be such a fun thing to record. It's gonna be just filled with so many different things and just so many different topics. And I don't know if you want to add to that.
I mean, you pretty much summed it up. I mean, it's just whatever we want to talk about that's anime related. I know you're also into manga, so we could also get into stuff
Yes.
like that. I'm not that big into manga. It's just reading. I'm not really into reading. But no, yeah, just anything anime related. We're just gonna get into it. We'll talk about it. Whatever interests us, whatever we feel that will be interesting for you guys to listen to, we'll talk about it for sure.
Yeah, so I guess without further ado, we're just going to roll right into the first topic that we had for the first introduction episode of the Bento Boxcast, and that's going to be favorite anime. Now, that is a big question. It's kind of just encompassing all of anime from old to new to whatever you want to decide fits in that in between category. And man, there's I don't want to limit us to a number because, of course, things might come and go. Might leave our mind or
Right.
what we're thinking of. So I guess we'll just start off with one anime. We'll kind of give a reason as to why we like it or why it's our favorite, and then we'll just keep going until we decide. You know what? Let's move on to the next topic. So I guess for me, my probably one of my favorite like top tier list animes are or is One Piece. Now that is such a stellar anime. It's one of the what is it, like big three animes? I think that's what they
It's one of the
call them.
most popular anime ever.
Yeah.
Like, and I knew you were gonna say One Piece. I was just like, One Piece is for sure gonna come out at a certain point,
Oh
and I
yeah.
feel like One Piece is gonna be one of those anime that's gonna be brought up here a lot, just because how like you're such a super fan of One Piece. Like I know that for a fact.
No, yeah. Honestly, just reading with the manga and everything, kind of like you said, it's the coolest thing about anime to me is like you find an anime that you really really love, and then I don't know, you might be different in this aspect, but when I'm like really into it and I like it with the anime, then I kind of think, well, let me read the manga, and yeah, it kind of spoils it for me long term, but just seeing it like pay out in like animation and seeing how they like change it up or do certain things different, like it's really really cool. Um, but that being said, what's one of your favorite animes?
Man, this is real. It's really hard because I have a lot of favorite anime. I can't really go and pick one. And well, I can, right? Of course, that's what we're doing right now. But man, it's really hard to choose. I mean, you know what? Fuck it. I'm those out there who are listening who know me. I'm pretty sure you can already guess what I'm gonna say. But fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't care. I'm gonna say K-On! I love K-On!
Oh,
It's one of my favorite for sure. It's one of my favorite anime. Like it's like. for me, like with that, K-On! Is that like is like that moe, slice of life type anime, right? That's like that people know, like the cute high school girls just doing cute things at a club or whatever. But for me, K-On! Is the pinnacle. It is the top of the mountain. It is god tier moe. Like I have not seen any other show that could top K-On! And I kind of don't really watch as much anime as you do nowadays. I know you follow like five, 8 shows or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like you follow like a bunch of shows. For me, 2, 3 at max. And that's at max. Like, but every season that comes out, fall, winter, spring, summer, I'm always looking. I'm always trying to find. All right, what's the next Moe show? What's the next slice of life Moe cute high school show? I gotta check it out. I gotta see. Is it as good as K-On? No. Then there hasn't been one as good as K-On. Like that's my number one for sure. Um, yeah, dude, that show is just like it's. I'm never gonna forget it. And I don't really buy a lot of like figurines and Figmas and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
But I do have K-On figures.
Oh.
So
So you kind of threw me for a loop there when you said if people know you, you're gonna say this anime, and I swear I thought you were gonna say Cowboy Bebop. I was so hooked. I was like, here it comes. I can't wait for him to say it, and then you hit me with the K-On, and I was not expecting that. I will
I mean,
say, go ahead.
Cowboy Bebop is there. It is part of the top five, because that anime's legendary. Um, but I know I wanted to go with something that I really really enjoyed. I was legit. I was listening to K on some of the songs, like the intro songs earlier today. Like legit. Like it's my shit. Like it's my show. Like if there was a for whatever reason, I don't know why, if there was a quiz on the shit that I like, K-On! Would be one of the answers and like top favorite TV shows.
Okay, okay. Um, so kind of what I realized while we were talking about this topic is that we didn't go in depth about what exactly we like when it comes to anime. Now I realized that especially with that K-On pick, we like very different anime. Of course, there's some that are going to be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, we both agree on this is a really good one. But overall, there's anime that we just don't exactly see eye to eye on. K-On is definitely one of them where I don't really watch a lot of moe. Like probably at all. I think Slice of Life is like here and there, like it's hit or miss when I watch it. But overall, I just feel like we just watch two different things, or not two, just multiple different things.
hmm Yeah, like for me, like I do watch like the action stuff, like I used to watch Naruto. My Hero is the shit. Demon Slayer is awesome. Like so, there's shows that we both for sure watched that like, we're like, oh yeah, dude, that episode was awesome. That episode was so cool. Um, but certain shows that are certain genres that I'm just not really into that I know you're into. Like Isekai. I'm not that big fan of Isekai. It has to have a very specific twist to it to really catch me. Like for example, like Konosuba, where it's just like it's more kind of poking fun of isekais and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I don't know, man. Just moe, slice of life, romantic comedies. That's my shit. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess I'm a lover. You know what I'm saying? I just like that shit, bro. Like watching these anime characters trying to like fall in love or whatever. I don't know, dude. It's my thing. I one genre that I seriously cannot fucking stand like at all
Uh-oh.
is actually I shouldn't say that like that. Like
I
there's a
was
few
like,
that I've seen.
yo,
And
okay.
I'm kind of I'm getting kind of heated for no reason. I don't know why. But it's the mech genre. I don't know. Like, and I've really never been a big fan of
Really?
like the mech genre. And that's so weird because I preach. I stand on my soapbox every day and I go to people listen to me. Watch Gurren Lagann. Watch Gurren Lagann. It's so fucking good. I'm telling you, it's so fucking good. Such a good show. And that's a mech show. But
Mm.
I'm not really into Gundam. I'm not really into some of these other mech shows that are out there. Like it's I don't know, just something just mechs don't really fucking interest me like that. But exception Gurren Lagann for whatever reason.
So that also kind of goes into something else where you've watched anime shows that I have never touched. Um, for example, Cowboy Bebop. But I will say, for the first time on this podcast, I started watching Cowboy Bebop, and the first episode was a
Oh,
banger. That was so fire. I did not
okay.
expect it to be guns blazing from the jump, and it literally hooked
Hey
me. And I
man.
kind of just started watching it. I was like, okay, cool. This is all right. I can see why people praise this anime so much. But Gurren Lagann's one where I've never even watched, like I've never touched. I don't know if it's just because I'm not interested. Like I've watched mech animes, uh, kind of. It was like the one I can distinctly think of that I can't think of the name of it right now. I just know like the description of it is like it's kind of like an isekai where the guy dies and then he goes to another obviously another world, but he was like a robotics person. He worked I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah, he worked in robotics and like they make like mechs and they become knights to fight in those mechs. So I don't know if it's like a isekai mech anime hybrid, but
That's what it
that's
sounds like, yeah.
but yeah, so like stuff like that, like I've watched. I think there's other ones that kind of, I guess, filter into there that I can't think of right now. But yeah,
Oh shit. You just reminded me. Another exception to my not liking mech anime is Code Geass. Code Geass is so fucking good. It's so fucking good, dude. That's another one if you haven't seen, I recommend it. Code
yeah,
Geass is the
I have
shit.
not seen that one.
And like the thing that I kind of want to talk about is that yeah, like for some reason I started watching anime kind of like I feel like with everybody else, I jumped in, with Naruto.
Hmm.
Um, Even though when I was a kid, I used to watch anime without knowing what anime was, like
Mm.
like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon. Um, like I don't know if you used to watch like the 4 Kids TV or
Yes.
like on here locally. Here's Channel 9. They used to show a bunch of anime, like and for me, I was just like, oh, this is just cartoons. Like they had one where it was an anime where there was these kids who were chefs and they would make food and the food would become monsters and they'll battle each other. It was an anime.
What the hell? that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sounds so random.
yeah. I mean, it's anime, dude. Like what the, um,
That's true.
Shaman King. I don't know if you
Yes,
remember
I love
Shaman
that show.
King.
I did not know that was an anime.
Um, right, and also, I'm not a big fan of One Piece because of 4 Kids TV,
Oh, I'm sorry.
because
Wait,
of
what'd you
that.
say?
I'm not a big fan of One Piece. The One Piece was
Oh,
ruined for me because of 4 Kids TV. Their dub, because they were showing One Piece
I
back in the
do
day when I was
remember
a
that.
kid, but it was so edited. It was so edited like heavily. Like they took out the blood. They took out scenes. Like it was really really bad. And I was just like, man, fuck One Piece. I'm not going through this shit.
Oh man,
Um,
dude.
but what was I going with this? I kind of just started going off. Oh, right. So then just like everybody else, I got into Naruto and stuff like that. Um, on Cartoon Network, like on Toonami, right? So then from there, I started watching whatever they had on Toonami, and then at a certain point, once I kind of starting finishing up those shows, I don't know if I was the only one that did this, but I went on. I remember this. I remember the day perfectly. I went on
Here we
FYE.
go.
Remember FYE?
I
Remember
do
that's
remember
the
FYE. Yeah.
for your entertainment, that electronic
Video store.
store.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went on their website and I went to the anime section, because order shit online or whatever. So then I went through like the anime series and I would just look at the covers of the anime, and whatever looked interesting, I would like save to the side and look up that anime. Like that's how I got into like a bunch of anime that like I
Mm-mm.
bring up to people and then they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah. No. I kind of had a similar thing. I definitely didn't know the FYE thing. I 100% can say I did not do that at all. But for me, it was more like Toonami and Cartoon Network when they'd show kind of stuff like that, and kind of like you said, 4 Kids. Um, yeah, I guess like I would say yeah, the first anime that I ever watched, which at the same time I did not know was anime. To this day, I still don't really see it as anime. Kind of is Pokemon. I've definitely
Right.
like been watching the current Pokemon anime, which is absolutely phenomenal. Another one that I'm gonna add to my favorites list when we talk about it again. But yeah, like it's just man, as old as I am now, like it really doesn't matter. Like that just hits so different. And
It's like it transcends what we define anime almost. Just like I said, like Yu-Gi-Oh or Digimon or even Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball's for
yes.
sure an anime, but like I don't know. It's kind of like it's almost like if it ascended beyond anime almost. You know,
So wait, it ascended beyond.
beyond, yeah.
So
Like it's above.
like Super Saiyan 2.
No, like Super Saiyan 4? No, or Super God or whatever the fuck.
Oh,
He has
yeah,
blue
Super
hair.
Saiyan God. Yeah. Oh no, no, that's what is that one called? I think that's Super Saiyan Blue. I think that's what it's called.
Bro, I don't know, dude. That Dragon Ball's it's past me. I don't know what the fuck's going
Oh
on
man,
anymore.
you should give it another shot because Dragon Ball Super is lit. I mean, look,
That's
man, it's really good. It's one of those where it's like I understand Dragon Ball is like it's one of those introductory animes. Like oh yeah, cool, everybody's seen Dragon Ball, but like Super is actually really good, and that's one of those where like give that one a shot. If you ever want to watch some kind of like action fighting one, like that's the one. Like that's it's so good. There's better ones obviously, but Super is really really good.
so so the Super like, continue after Dragon Ball Z? Like I don't really know exactly.
Yeah, so it continues after Dragon Ball Z, but it does not count GT. So like GT does not. They're like
Oh, well, GT
that
was
never
never really
happened.
canon though.
Yeah, they're like that never
Yeah.
happened. Don't talk about it. Um, but yeah, like it directly it continues right after. What was the last saga? I think
This is the
was
Boo
Boo
Saga,
Saga.
right?
Yeah, directly continues after Boo
Because Boo
Saga.
Saga was the last. Yeah, Boo Saga was the last one on Dragon Ball Z. That was the last saga
Mhm.
or last arc or whatever.
Yeah, so
Um,
it directly follows that.
we- so like, do the fights last four fucking episodes
Oh
still?
yeah, that hasn't changed. 100%. That stays the
I don't
same.
know.
Well, I
That's
wouldn't
I
say
kind of
four
have a
episodes.
problem
They
with
kind of
that.
condensed it to like three. All right, they met you at
Oh,
the
one
happy
episode.
medium.
Thank God. Thank. Oof. Let me jump in.
uh, no, but like it definitely does some really cool stuff. The only complaint that I have, and I'm sure we'll get into many complaints about different animes, is that Gohan did not get enough time to shine. That's one of my biggest
Nobody
complaints.
cares about
They
Gohan.
literally said in Dragon Ball Z that he's one of the best. Like, no, no, not one of the best. He is supposed to be the greatest Saiyan, like human hybrid. He's supposed to be strong as shit, and like, bro, oh my god, super pissed me off whenever I saw Gohan scenes. Like, I was like, come on, Joe, like you deserve to be better than this.
Nah, dude. It's all about Goku and Piccolo and Vegeta and
You just gonna name the whole
Chi
cast, or?
Chi. Yeah, I'm just gonna
Oh
start
my
naming
god.
characters.
So okay, time to reel it back in a bit. So I kind of like I said, one of my other favorite animes is Pokemon. The newest one, it's called Pokemon Journeys. It actually just recently, I believe, the first episode just recently came out in the western part of the world. But it's so good, like it's crazy. It's made so many like headlines in Japan for those who like love anime. Like Ash has gotten so many crazy Pokemon that nobody ever thought he'd ever get, and like it's just absolutely insane. I love it. I kind of like the dynamic with the two new characters that they introduced, or not? Yeah, I guess two new characters. So the other character, his main character's name is Go, uh, kind of connecting Pokemon Go, which I don't really like. I don't like the way he
Yeah, it's
catches
kind of lame.
Pokemon, but it's whatever. He's a decent character, but Ash is definitely the shining star in that. It's like without a doubt, dude. Like he's just amazing. I love it. It's just really really good. I know it's like, oh man, this dude's talking about Pokemon, but like, dude, it's so good. Um, and yeah.
But doesn't Ash always lose? Doesn't he
Ooh,
suck?
surprise, surprise. So the last season of the anime, he was in the Alolan region, uh, which it's one of those animes that had a different art style compared to the other like stuff that we know when we were kids. A lot of people didn't like it. You kind of get used to it, and it was actually pretty decent. But he actually won his first ever. Oh well, spoilers, right? I mean, if you haven't watched it, then that's on you, bro. It's a whole new season.
Damn.
Get caught up. But he actually wins his first ever like championship, so he's actually a champion of one of the leagues.
Damn. How long did it take him? We were watching
If I
Pokemon since we
remember
were
hearing,
kids.
22 years.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So it's like 20 plus years. I don't remember. I think 20 years is about right, but 20 plus years for him to win a championship and then roll into this new season and like the dude's team is just stacked. Like it's just insane. He's getting fan favorite Pokemon that people never thought he'd ever get. I won't spoil it because I already spoiled one season as is. So let me just not spoil the whole other one. But yeah, definitely give that a shot if you're into anime. The English dub is coming out, like I said, in the western part of the world soon, if not already came out. But they are on hiatus, so they got to like 25 episodes
Hmm.
about. So because of the whole coronavirus, as we are recording this during the coronavirus, um,
Right.
yeah. So I guess on to you. Thoughts, and then what's your favorite anime?
Man, right before I get into that, they could give him all the legendaries. Man, that man will
Oh
still
my.
lose, bro. He will still lose. He'll lose the second round in, bro. Ash sucks.
I'm gonna mark these words. We're gonna come back towards the end of the season when we get to it,
Man,
and we'll
then
talk about it.
he's not gonna win back to back, dude. I'm telling you right now, because he won last season, they're not gonna let him win this season. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't know,
care.
man.
It ain't gonna happen.
There's some sad rumors that this is supposed to be the last time we see Ash because they're trying to see
Good.
what they think about Go and like how he fits in the whole like we're gonna introduce Pokemon again but with a different main character. We'll see. But man, dude,
They
I
need to retire Ash. He's worked long and hard. He needs to go home to his mama.
oh my god. All right, you know what? No more slander. What's your favorite anime or other
All
favorite
right,
anime?
fine. Yeah, I guess. For sure. The original run of Foolie Cooley.
Hmm.
I love Foolie Cooley. It's one of those animes that I watched at the beginning also. Those first six episodes are just the best. They're amazing. Now I know afterwards they did come out with more episodes, but it's just not the same. It doesn't really. They're still good. Don't get me wrong. I think it's called Fully Cooley Alternative, and I forgot the name of the other one. Um, but it continues to show pretty much, and it only really follows one of the characters from Fully Cooley from the original six.
Okay.
Um, but it just I don't know. It's kind of like It's almost like they're trying to recapture the magic of those first six episodes, and it doesn't hit. It doesn't hit like those like the original run for some reason. I just can't really figure out why. It
Just
just
hits different.
like it's yeah. I don't know. Like we could count them in seasons, I guess. Like season one was the original six. Then there's season two and season three. I finished season two. It was cool. It was alright. It's more of that fully feel with the randomness and how crazy and absurd the story can get and stuff like that, and how like charismatic these characters are. But I don't know, something was missing it. And then season three, I couldn't even get into it. I don't know, like I didn't even finish it. Just and also not the full original team that worked on the first six came back. Like I think it was like half of the people that worked on it came back, so it could be maybe because of that. Like that's why like, it was kind of missing that special feel to it. But that original six episodes is just the best. If you have not seen it, it's some of the most wackiest, craziest, just really out there anime. Like I remember I was showing my friend Alex and his girl Renee Furikuda. I was recommending to them, hey, you guys gotta watch it. And they were watching the first episode, and they were like, "Hey, I think we started like in the middle of the season or something." Like that's how crazy the
Oh
show
wow.
is.
Okay.
Like it just goes in and does not explain shit to you, and it's just like, hey, you're either come along for the ride and you're gonna enjoy yourself, or fucking stay behind and we don't care. Like
Yikes.
it's fast, it's crazy, it's fun, it's absurd. It's one of the best anime I've ever seen, and for sure top five, hands down.
Oh.
Fully
Okay.
Cooley. If you have not seen it, go watch it. It's it's old school, it's old, but also, well, also, yeah. It's one of those rare anime that starts as an original anime and it continues as manga. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh okay.
Because most anime, it's either a standalone thing that people come up with, or it gets uh, it gets brought over from a manga, right? They find a manga that or a visual novel that sells really well, and then they're like, okay, let's make that into an anime. Fully Cooley was its own thing, and the story of those characters do continue in the manga. So it's another cool thing about
All
it.
right. So wait. So Fooly Cooly, what type of anime is it exactly?
It is a it's like a coming of age story for the
Okay.
main character. Because it deals with topics like growing up or trying to be an adult, um, acting your age, things like that.
Okay. Oh, so it's a slice of
Yeah,
life.
kind of. Like it's such a weird, crazy because it's also action. There's also action in it.
Oh
You
shit.
know,
Okay.
like for example, just an example, just how crazy it gets. The main character, Naota, that's his name. He gets hit in the head by a bass guitar by one of the other characters. Um, and and because he got hit in the head, like right in the middle of his forehead, it opens up a portal that goes to a warehouse that's in the town, and
What the
a
hell?
robot comes out of his head, you know.
I I
Uh,
can't say I do. What the hell? Okay, keep going.
right. I'm saying like like yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Robot out of your forehead. It happens to everybody, right? No. Yeah, like that's how crazy it gets. Like that's episode one.
Wait,
That's just
what?
yeah, that's just part of episode one.
All right, yeah, I can see why Alex and Renee got confused. That sounds so random, dude. But
It's
okay.
crazy. There's certain times they break the fourth wall. Like it's and
Oh, that's amazing.
it's really good. And also on top of that, the soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks for an anime ever. It was handled by The Pillows, which is a Japanese rock band. And all the music
I'm gonna have to
from
interrupt you real quick. The fact that you know that is insane. The pillows wrote. All right, keep going. That's wild. Go ahead.
it's one of my favorite, man. I'm telling you, dude. Like it's the music is really really good. It's really really good. Like I had to look it into it. See, back in the day when I was really into the anime, I wanted to learn everything about it. Everything. I don't do this now because I don't. I kind of lost that interest. But back in the day, I'll be like, okay, who did the music and like did what else did they do, and just really dig into the anime and stuff like that. And and just because it's such a good soundtrack, the opening songs, the ending songs, the songs they use in the actual show itself, like it's some really good stuff. And they also, fun fact, came back for the other two seasons. The Pillows, they came back and did the soundtrack for those other two seasons too. Which
Okay.
again, amazing music. It's really good. I recommend checking it out.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, I definitely heard you talk about it before, but never actually gave it a chance. I mean, as you can kind of see, there's a trend here, guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things where he watches. I've heard him talk about it. I know he likes it. I haven't watched it. There's some things that obviously I really enjoy. He hasn't watched it. And then I guess we'll go into one more favorite for each of us. Oof. All right. This one's kind of hard, but I'm sure we can both agree on it. So I'm gonna have to make you think of another one. But definitely My Hero. Oh wait, no. Oh,
Yes.
there's another one that I can think of. Oh. Anyways, we both
No,
can
no,
agree.
no, no, no. You said my
All
hero,
right,
bro.
fine, fine,
Can't
fine.
switch it, dude. You can't
All
switch it. You said
right.
my hero.
My Hero is so
Yes.
good. There's so many things that you can talk about the show. And then obviously I've read the manga because I've read the manga for a lot of them. But the manga is really, really good. It's getting into some crazy, like crazy intense stuff, and seeing it like unfold in animated glory is going to be amazing. It's just such a good show. Right now, the arc that they're going to get into once the whole situation with the world is kind of wrapped up, it's so good. There's just so much to anticipate for it. Also, another thing that kind of sucks is I don't know if you know this, but a lot of the manga and like writers and stuff are also getting impacted by the whole like situation with like the coronavirus and everything. It's just like everything anime related is kind of getting hit really hard, and it sucks. But they're still trying to like send out chapters whenever they can, which is really really cool on them. Obviously, they don't have to. They can be like, you know what, we're also gonna take a break.
Right.
But yeah,
Nobody
there's
expects them to keep working.
yeah. So the fact that they do that is super super cool, especially Oda. Kind of like you kind of little things about Oda. He writes One Piece. He is continuously still writing chapters. It's fucking insane, but it just regardless, like we're gonna talk about so many different things, and My Hero is definitely something that we're gonna talk about. But for you, go ahead with your last one. Just run it.
Okay. I for sure agree with you. My Hero, such an awesome show. It's not my pick. I'm just agreeing with you. Fuck, now I gotta think about a whole nother one. Uh, I don't want to say Cowboy Bebop. We already brought it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can't think of one right away, I do have another topic
No,
we can
no,
talk
no.
about. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Go ahead.
No, no, you know what? Go ahead, go ahead. We'll bring up another. I'll think about it when you bring up another
Yeah,
one.
just bring it
Go
up
ahead.
whenever you need to. I guess what we can talk about is anime that we're currently watching. Now, this is kind of interesting because you haven't been watching that much anime as of late. So, I guess to start the topic, why did you fall off with like watching anime?
It's not. I don't know. I feel like just it's such a hassle keeping up with like 8 shows. You know,
Okay,
like
yeah.
you do that. I used to do that. I used to be able to do that, and I just now just I don't know. It could also be that maybe the most of the shows now don't really catch my interest like before. You know,
Okay.
um, uh, like I said, isekais are a really big thing. That's the driving force. That's the trend that's going on right now. It's been going on for a while now, so it might switch on maybe the next few seasons. But that's the one thing that's just it's big. It's still going strong, and I'm not that big a fan of isekai. You know, I feel like it has to be very different to really catch my interest for like I was saying earlier,
Okay.
like Konosuba. Gates, have you seen Gates?
I have,
That's
yeah.
a really
Well,
good one.
there's like two different gates apparently, and I don't really know. Like there's like I forgot what they're called, but there's one where like the main character is in Japan and there's like a giant door that opens up and then he meets like basically three different. It's kind of like a weird harem type situation. Uh,
Not really, but yeah,
so yeah, that's the one I think of when you see when you say gate. But apparently there's another one
yeah.
that I have no idea what that one's about. I don't know if you've ever
Well,
heard of
I'm
that one.
talking. No, I'm talking about the one that you're talking about,
Okay,
where
okay, okay.
there's a gate that opens up in the middle of I think Tokyo,
Yeah.
and it opens up to this different world. And the reason why I like this anime is because it's not just that one random nerd or geek that gets transported to the other world, and he's the chosen one to take down the Demon King or the generic shit, right? That we're all used to hearing. It's it's this guy who I mean he is still a nerd and a geek, but he's part of the Japanese army, and he gets sent with the Japanese army to go to the other side of this gate or like a wormhole or whatever to see what the fuck's going on the other side. And it's really cool to see. It's different, because it's like it's an army, it deals with politics and stuff like that, and it's not just this guy who's just leveling up, getting overpowered, and just killing everything, and then going after the Demon King or whatever. Like that's really cool. Um, but I am as of right now from this season, I'm watching 2 shows.
Oh, okay.
I'm watching 2 shows from this season, and just anime in general. I just started watching Black Lagoon again.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Black Lagoon's another one of my favorites. I'm putting it on there because that shit's really good. Like, if you like straight action, like gunplay stuff like that, Black Lagoon's that's the motherfucking shit right there. I don't know if you have you seen Black Lagoon?
No. When you said Black Lagoon, I thought of Durara. Um,
Oh my God, Durara was also a really good show.
yeah.
That's also a really good show. No, Black Lagoon is about a group of 4 people who are pirates, like modern day pirates, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And they go around, doing work for like the mafia and shit like that. And it's a really awesome, badass show. Like, picture, excuse me, picture like Just like an action movie or like an action show, pretty much. Episode episode one or two, just to give you a hint of how crazy and like awesome the show is. The main characters, they're in their boat. They ju- they jump the boat off another boat that's been like discard or like crashed or like flipped over or whatever.
Okay.
So they're in their boat, they're driving straight, they jump off this other boat and in midair shoot their torpedoes at a helicopter.
Anime is amazing.
Right.
It's just
But
wild.
but but that's some shit you see like in Fast and the Furious. That's some Fast and the Furious shit right there.
Oh man, don't tell me we're competing with the other Fast and Furious podcast.
No, no, I'm just saying like that's how like look, we know anime's over the top, and it could be one of the most silliest, craziest shit you've seen, right?
Hmm.
For hands down, like you see, anime could get fucking straight out weird, but this show is like it's like they're not getting weird with it. It's just like, hey, it's an action show, and like Fast and Furious. I don't know, dude. Like they jump a boat off a boat and shoot torpedoes at a helicopter. Like that shit was badass.
All right,
Like
so what I'm gathering is if you like the Fast and the Furious, watch this show.
if you like action like Fast and the Furious, watch this show. It's good, dude. It's good. Not every day you get a show like Black Lagoon where it's just straight up action, where there's no weird, goofy shit happening in the background.
Okay, okay.
I mean, it does get kind of weird later on. Like there's some psycho twins who like who are into like torture and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Um, but overall, the show is just like, hey man, we're just a straight action, just straight action. No magic, no fucking isekai, no mechs. Like no, just a straight action, and it's really good. And I'm rewatching it right now. I'm like on episode four right now. And that show came out like a long time ago.
Okay.
Um, I'm watching. I'm also watching from this season. I'm watching. Fuck, what's the name of the show? It's the one I'm looking it up right now. It's the one where it's an isekai.
Hmm.
Actually, I've been talking shit about
No, but I
isekais the
say yeah, you've
time.
been talking mad shit about the guys that you're watching with.
But but see, that's the thing, man. I'm about to prove my point right here. I'm about to prove my point right here because it's an isekai, but it's doing something different that I fuck and it caught my attention, and I really like it. It is called where is it? It's right here. I'm gonna say it in English. I don't know how to say it in Japanese. This is my next life as a villainess. All routes lead to doom.
Oh my god, I've thought about watching that anime.
It's
That's
good.
wild.
It's so good. It's so the let me tell you right here. Let me tell you. So it opens up with the main character, right? It's this brunette girl.
Okay, okay.
She's like she's like 11 or some shit, and she's like rich. She's like in a noble family, or whatever, and she's a complete bitch. She's a complete brat, right? She's acting like a fucking cunt. You know,
Jesus.
dude, just watch it. Like, don't take my word for it. Just watch it. You'll see. And then she's like fucking walking around and hanging out with another uh snooty ass noble kid or whatever.
Hmm.
And then she trips, falls, and hits her head. And then when she wakes up again, her memories of her past life comes back to her. And from her past life, she was this like neat, nerdy ass girl from Japan.
Okay, okay.
So so her memories from her past life come back to her. She's like, oh shit, I'm in this body now. Like what the fuck? Like I was in Japan or whatever. And now I'm here, and she like remembers her past and stuff like that. And then as she's going on, this is episode one, so I'm not really
Spoiling
spoiling
nothing.
much.
Yeah.
So as she's going on, like seeing like her surroundings, she's like, hey, this shit seems familiar. Oh fuck, this is a game that I used to play when I was alive in Japan. And oh fuck, I'm not the main character. I'm actually the bad guy of the fucking game, and I
Mm.
know how the game ends, and I die at the end, or some like, or she gets like kicked off the fucking country or some shit. Like there's different bad endings that she could end up in.
Okay.
She's like, oh fuck, I know how this shit ends. I need to do everything in my power to not let that happen.
Hmm. I think I've
It's
seen
funny.
clips. I've definitely seen clips of like
It's
her like working in like a garden and stuff. She's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna
yeah,
go garden," and then like one of the characters is looking at her like, "You never used to do that, but okay." Uh,
exactly. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean
It's
it's definitely one of
it's
those
funny.
animes where it looked interesting.
It's for sure the selling point for sure is it's the comedy. It's funny. It's you like these characters. You like her as the main character.
Mm,
Because she's such a nice, inviting person, and then just seeing her like trying to figure shit out. Like, damn, like I know this, like I don't know if you ever played those type of games where it's like, oh, a red flag comes out or whatever, like a specific point in the game comes up, like this is about to change the rest of the game type of thing.
okay.
Um, and she's like, oh shit, I know this situation is gonna come up ahead. I need to not let that happen. Or she finds herself in that situation without her knowing, so she's playing out what normally would happen with the main character. She's actually involved in it, so she's like kind of flipping everything on its head, what she knows, pretty
Okay.
much.
Okay, that's kind of
It's
cool.
yeah, it's funny. It's really interesting. It's a nice different take on that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a nice different take on isekai, you know? So it's like it's not like she didn't come into this world and she's not the hero. She's the bad guy, but she's not really the bad guy at heart. She's trying to figure her way around this shit, you know? So it's good. I
Okay.
recommend it. It's funny. It's really charming. It's you'll enjoy it for sure.
So then what's the other
Um,
anime?
the other one is it's called Sing Yesterday for me.
Ooh, okay.
It this is like for sure like a slice of life
Mm-hmm.
drama type thing. Um like like love, like romantic dramas type shit. Um it's about it's about like four characters who are like this one the main guy, like he works at a convenience store and he likes this one girl. They used to go to his college. She's like, nah, dude, I ain't fucking with you. Leave me alone. And then this other girl's like, hey man, I like you. She's like, no, I ain't fucking with you. So it's like, I don't know. It's a drama about people who like a romance and shit. I don't know.
Okay.
Uh, I know you're not gonna watch it. I know you're not gonna like it.
I've
I know
heard
for
good
sure it's
things
not your
about
thing.
it, but I'm not gonna touch it. Like, it just does not appeal to me at all.
It's good. It's a good show. You know, it's a lot of character development. You know, you really get to know these characters, and it doesn't really see. That's the thing about anime, especially when it comes to like romantic comedies or like things with do like with romance and stuff like that. It's very, I don't want to say safe, but it's like, for example, like a lot of these romantic comedies, they tend to end with like the two main characters who are supposed to get together, or like that's where the story leads to,
Hmm.
and it really just it ends with them getting together, or it ends with them like maybe kissing or like holding hands or some shit. Like
Some kind of
it
payoff.
doesn't really develop more than that. It's really the anime. It's really just the journey of them finally asking each other out or some shit like that, right? Like it's like, for example, let's say it's like 12 episodes. It's like 10 episodes of them fucking around, um getting to like
Jesus.
silly hijinks of like, oh, I'm gonna say something, oh no, we're doing this, and oh this happened, and oh now we're heading to the beach, just a bunch of bullshit, right? And then the last two episodes, like, oh, I'm gonna say something, and then something happens or whatever. It's there's a lot of fucking around when it comes to stuff like that. uh, with this show, it's almost like they're taking it a more, I don't say serious approach, but more of a mature approach,
Okay.
because it's like straight up they're like, the guy's like, hey, I like you, and the girl's like, well, I don't like you, right?
Oh.
And and so then you see them interacting with each other afterwards and how awkward it could be, and does she actually have feelings for him, or why is she saying no, and other characters get involved also, and like what's up with them, and how does it all fit with each other's story. It's almost like they're like, hey, let's make an anime about these characters who, like a drama or whatever, like a romantic because it's like a dramedy. Like
Oh, okay.
there's drama, but there's also funny moments and stuff like that. But instead of them just like, oh, let's just have them get into funny hijinks, and let's have the guy fall over and land on the girl, and he's squeezing her titties, or let's have the girl trip over and you can see her panties. Oh no, the guy saw her panties. Now she's mad, and now she's gonna smack him around for like 2 minutes. Instead of doing shit like that you normally expect from these like goofy ass romantic comedies, it's like no, let's take these characters and let's actually develop them like if they're real people and just have them interact with each other. It's really cool. And yeah, I feel like I didn't I feel like I should have explained it better. Like I just explained it better now, but at the beginning I was just like, yeah, it's about this guy and this girl and they don't like each other. Like yeah.
You got to it.
Right, yeah, yeah, I
um,
eventually got to it.
so I guess that kind of adds on to that kind of stuff. Like, has there been an anime that you've watched where it didn't pay out? Like, no matter how lovey-dovey the two main characters, or maybe it was like a romantic triangle or whatever. Like, uh, has there ever been an anime where like it just didn't pay out? Like, if you watched it or like got all the way to the end and you're just like, what about so and so, and why haven't they, done anything?
There is one show that comes to mind, and I feel like it's more my fault than anything for expecting more out of this show. What's the name of this damn show? It's years. It's been years since I've seen it, but I was so mad at the end of this fucking show. I was fuming. I was like, "Oh, how dare you? How fucking dare you waste my time like that?" Like I sat here and watched 20 something episodes. I don't even remember how many episodes. I'm pretty sure it was more than 20 episodes. I here watched every single one, and fucking I was rooting for you guys, and you guys literally stuck to the fucking status quo and did nothing with it and kept everything the same. You can watch episode 1 and then watch in the last episode and nothing changed.
Hmm.
Literally nothing changed. It was just a bunch of bullshit. Just bullshit through all the episodes.
Huh?
It's oh fuck. It's called School Rumble. I just remember it. It's called School Rumble,
It's like a little bit of
and
that hate
it's
that you remember.
yeah, it's it's called School Rumble, and it's about these high school kids, and like there's one girl that likes this one guy, and then this other guy likes this one girl, and okay, like the main girl, she's like a fucking ditz, she's like an idiot, and she likes this nerdy ass dude, and the other main guy is like he's kind of like a delinquent, and he likes the ditz girl, right? The ditzy girl. So then like, and then there's other characters involved, and then there's like love triangles here and there and then shit like
Okay.
that, and it doesn't come to anything. It's all tease, you know. It's just a bunch of blue balls, and like I'm telling you, bro, you get nothing out of it. It ends with them having a pie fight, and they're like, "Hey, that's the show, everybody. Thanks for watching." Like,
Wow.
it's like nobody confessed to anybody. Like, nobody went for anything. It was a waste of time.
Okay. Yeah, I have one that's similar. The anime has not caught up, but I read the manga and I was extremely pissed. I will not. Okay, so the way it works is I won't say what anime it is because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But basically, two characters, you can tell they have like an intimate connection. They both care about each other. They both go through a lot of different shit to like, I guess, be more affectionate towards each other or kind of show something about each other. And then it gets to the final like, well, it's going to be eventually the final episode of the anime, but the final chapter, and it's like a time skip, so they reunite as adults, and then basically how it works out is they kind of talk to each other. The girl basically says like, I always look forward to seeing you, and it's always you. But she doesn't tell the main character to his face. She doesn't verbally say it out loud. And the main character, he's like, oh well, I'm doing what I'm doing for you because I have to have a reason to do this, and you're my reason. And he never tells her this. And so the manga writer like left it at that. Apparently, the reasoning for it is that he wanted to move on to another project, but at the same time, the people that were employing him to write this manga were like, "All right, dude, like we kind of need you to hurry up because we don't want to spend any more time on this I guess IP, but that's not what you call it." So
Yeah, it works. IP.
yeah, so then they didn't want to work on it anymore, so they got time to wrap it up. And then that's how he left it. And then after a while, he made like it was like chapter 395.1, 2, 3, and 4, and it kind of like wraps up the remainder of like it kind of little by little it wraps up every extra chapter that he'd release. So every chapter there'd be a different topic of like something he's like, well, this is what I wanted to talk about back then, but I didn't get a chance, so let me wrap it up with this. And then he released another three more after that. And the fourth one, you don't get like they still don't talk about like what they don't even explain like, hey, this isn't we're not gonna say I love you. We're not gonna say anything to each other, and it just ends with a picture of them like on their wedding day. That's it. Like they don't confess anything. Like we see that it happens, but we don't get anything out of it. And you're just like, dude, I would love to see the reaction. Like I want to see this, and it's something that I want to see in the anime. Like I hope they just branch off and be like, hey, you created this. What would you have wanted to do in the manga so we can do it in the anime? Like I really really hope they do that, but oh my god, it pissed me off when I finished reading that. I was absolutely upset.
I think I know which anime you're talking about, by the way. I think I know what you're talking about.
Is it a recent anime?
Yeah. It's an anime that we didn't really talk about it that much, but it's like, hey, have you seen the show? Yeah, I've seen the show, and then you kind of went off saying how you were way into it more than I was,
Well, we'll
and
talk about it off this because I
yep,
don't want to spoil it because it's like
I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure I know which anime you're talking
okay.
about.
Uh, but
But
yeah,
that really sucks. That really sucks that the publishing company or whatever, like, hey, wrap this shit up. It's what I've seen from the anime itself. It's such a good show. If we're talking about the same show, it's like such a like awesome, interesting premise. It really sucks that they told the guy to wrap it up.
yeah. Honestly, I feel like that happens a lot. There's just so many like just anime that comes out and they get to a certain point in the manga and they can't anymore. Um, or they just don't continue it. Also, the other thing too that I hate is when anime that maybe it's kind of popular and then it does get kind of a lot of views and then they just don't make a following season for it. The biggest one that comes to mind is Nisekoi to me. I want I want more. I want to see it in animation. I've read the whole thing. I absolutely love it. I want to see it. I want to see the whole thing
Wh-
play out.
Which what was the anime? I didn't catch
It's
the name.
called Nisekoi. Hopefully, I'm not butchering that. Uh,
I feel like I've heard it.
yeah, the
Heard the
premise
name
of
before.
it is the two main characters are Chitoga, something like that. And then I forget the dude's name. I just remember the girl's name. But basically, they're both part of the son is the first like the heir to the yakuza in like Japan, to a yakuza group, and then the girl.
Oh, I know what show you're
Yup,
talking
and then the
about.
girl is the kind of like the daughter of an American gang. Uh, so like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that anime, like the manga itself, when it continues after where we're at or where we're left off at, from like the first two seasons, I think it was like, um, that they actually made like one or two seasons. But anyways, after that, like it just gets so much better, and like I just want to watch it so bad, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I don't think they're ever gonna revisit it, which just really really sucks. I hope they do, but they won't.
They might. They do this with anime. You don't even know. Like sometimes they continue shows like years later.
They're like, hey, it's been ten
Years later.
years, but here's season three. It's like what?
Like it. Yeah, I don't know about 10 years, but like it's happened before where like a show's been off, like has not been on for like 3 years or some shit, and I don't know where a new season comes out.
Hmm.
Like there's one show right now in this season um that I forgot the name of it. But yeah, like the first season came out a while, like a really long time ago, I think. And I don't know, they're just like season here's season two.
That's
Um,
cool. Okay.
yeah, I kind of lost interest in it though, so I'm not really watching it. But I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool that they're doing that. But yeah, it's yeah, that's what sucks about like these anime shows. Where like uh, there's so many of these shows don't even finish.
Yeah.
Like fuck, what's the name of the anime? It's the one where um fuck, what's the name of it? It's another one that I like a lot. It's when the main guy he's into zombies, like zombie movies and shit like that, and then he meets a girl who becomes a zombie, and like he's like taking care of her and shit like that.
Well, that the only thing I can think of, I don't know, I doubt it's the same one, but it's like this girl gets hit by a car and then they become like an idol zombie group. That sounds like something you
No.
might like if you haven't
I
watched
know
that.
exactly which show you're talking about. It's not that, and that show's awesome, by the way. I also recommend
I've
that
watched
show.
that
That
one.
show's a
That one's
lot.
good. I do recommend that too.
That show's a lot of fun. It's funny. It's so funny. I'm not a big fan of idol shows, by the way. Like it might seem like oh, Rafa would love idol shows. Bunch of cute girls on screen singing and dancing and shit, and they have cute personalities and they have fun on stage and off stage. I'm not a big fan of idol shows. It's not my thing. I don't know. I just don't really. It's not. I don't really like it. You know.
Okay.
But that show, that zombie idol show, is the shit, and I can't wait for season two because there is going to be a season two.
Okay. Yeah, that one I'm looking forward to seeing. So yeah, I guess you kind of talked about what you're currently watching. I guess I should go down my list. I won't get too deep into it, and then because we actually are pretty long in the podcast itself. So let me just run through this somewhat quickly. Um, so here you go. I'm watching Boruto. I'm watching Black Clover. I'm watching Food Wars. I am watching One Piece, of course. I'm watching that time I got reincarnated as a slime. If you haven't watched that, it's a Nisekoi, but it's one
It's
of
pretty
those.
cool.
Yeah, it's one of those like
It's
specialist
different.
guys. And then of course probably the biggest one, which I actually this is what I wanted to say instead of My Hero, um, solely because I was reading uh the continuation of it, but Tower of God. So
Oh,
that one is absolutely stellar. It's actually a
your top,
webtoons.
like your favorite
It's
favorite?
one of my not my like absolute favorite, but it's definitely like we'll say top 10, very close to top 5. Uh,
Wow.
it's so good, and only because of the fact that I read past where it's barely on chapter my episode 4, but like I've read all the way to like the current where it's at in the webtoon. But the fact that it's a webtoon, the fact that it's so good, like oh my god, I can't wait till this shit gets animated. It's just so good. The fact that like somebody who like Webtoons is like a free site that you can create like your own like manga or stories and just put them up there and with art, and it's kind of like comic booky but kind of like in a manga. It's just so cool. I can't wait to see it. It's so good. It's definitely it's one of those where must watch. I feel like trust me, the
Mhm.
payoff later on is so good. It's one of those where definitely watch this. It's worth the watch. It's you might be like, oh, this might be slow in the beginning. I don't think it's really slow, but to everybody sees anime different. Watch it. It's so good. It's the only downside is it's exclusively on Crunchyroll, but I'm not condoning this. I'm sure you can find it on other websites. That's all I'm gonna say on that matter. Uh, but yeah, I mean that's just a little bit of what I'm watching. There's a lot more. I've kind of started rewatching a lot of things. Oh, the Pokemon anime as well. But kind of like I said before, a lot of the anime and just like different sources of anime related things are kind of on a hiatus right now due to the situation. But
All
yeah,
right. the Roni,
Yeah,
as
the
we call it.
Roni.
Um, just to kind of clarify a little bit, Webtoons is like a self-publishing website almost, where anybody and everybody could put up their own material. And if it catches on, just like with what's it called, Tower of God,
Yeah.
it could become something. So like if you listening here have your own idea for like a manga or a comic book series or whatever, and you're already working on it, you can put it on Webtoons, and people could let you know, hey man, this is some good shit, or hey man, work on this or whatever. And if you keep working on it, it can actually even become a whole thing. Like that's how awesome Webtoons is.
Yeah, it really
And
is.
I know a lot of people who use it, who I won't say use it, but like or who watch or read stuff off Webtoons. So
Hmm.
it's a really big website. It's really cool to see that Crunchyroll are expanding on doing. It's an original Crunchyroll series, like you said. That's just such a cool thing.
Yeah. And also one cool thing, like I know he said that people are gonna say like, "Hey, let's work on this," but honestly, from what I've seen in like the comments from just Tower of God and other ones that have kind of started or reading rather, uh, the community is actually really really cool. Like they're super nice people. They always have like feedback. I remember at the beginning of Tower of God, people were like, "Oh, I'm so excited to see what Bam, the main character, like what he's gonna be up to, like what's he gonna do," and then like if something doesn't pay out, they should be like, oh, well, how come you kind of went this direction? Oh, I'd really love it if I saw this character did this, or maybe if this was a payout for this. Of course, um, when you write your own stuff, you have your own idea for what it is, but I mean, any feedback is good feedback, I feel like, as long as it's in a positive light. So definitely, like you said, give it a try if you want to put it on Webtoons. I have no idea how that works, but look into it if you have something you want to
Yeah,
put up there.
it's a really cool thing. By the way, while you were talking, oh, before I get into the thing I want to say, so other than Tower of God and One Piece, what's another show that you're watching this season that you recommend?
Ooh, that I recommend. I would
From
probably.
everything. Let's say the person's already watched One Piece and and Tower of God. You're like, okay, well, watch this show
Ooh, so from this season or just in general?
from this season.
Oh, okay. I guess it kind of. Oh no, I guess that was last season, but so okay, it is this season. Now fair warning. It is an etchy anime. If you don't
Ooh.
know what etchy means, it's there's a lot of adult content. All right, and by adult content, I mean you're gonna see a titty. Uh,
Ooh.
you're well, okay. They blur certain parts of like the human body, but like you'll see men's abs because apparently everybody in anime is like either super ripped or like just muscular to the bone. Uh, that doesn't really make sense, but you get what I'm saying. Or like they're like incredibly huge. I don't know. There's always no in between. It's crazy, but specifically in this anime, they're always ripped. The guys are for the most part. And then if you think a character is kind of more big boned, I guess is the friendly way of saying it. Like the next episode, they're like skinny. I don't know where. And that anime is Food Wars. Give it a shot. It's a food anime. The main character is part of a diner. He grew up just like learning how to cook, and it's literally about a character who goes to a culinary school, and he goes through different obstacles, meets different people, learns different ways of cooking. It's like so cool. You actually learn a lot about cooking too. Well, I don't know. Would you say you learn a lot about cooking, Rafa?
Um, I don't know. um, Food Wars is a show that I really never got into. Like I know exactly what's it about. Like you're pretty much describing it as like this guy who wants to become like the best chef ever or some shit like that. And there's like
Kinda, yeah.
competitions, and like there's other people who are like also trying to be like a great chef or whatever. And there's like I've seen like certain parts of it and stuff like. I didn't know it was etchy, by the way. I didn't know that the show was etchy.
Yeah. Etchy is like the yeah. Yeah. It's definitely etchy. There's a lot of stuff. I don't know if they do it in the first. I feel like they do it in the first episode. Like they just show a whole basically in the first. I think it's the first episode. They show these people that want to take over the diner, right? So he hasn't gone to school yet, but they want to go into the diner and they want to buy the diner from the family. The main character's name is Yukihira Soma, and the diner is called Yukihira Diner. So this woman comes in and she's like, if you can't, oh no, Yukihira, he's like, if I serve you something that will like blow your socks off, like you have to leave us alone and never ask to buy our restaurant again, because they're trying to like buy the whole neighborhood. Uh, and she's like, okay, deal. If this doesn't wow me, like fine. So they decide to go the next day, and she's like, we'll do this tomorrow. And so she sends people to like mess up all of the food inside the diner and like make it so it's unedible and all this other crazy shit. And she's like, there's no way he can make me like a delicious dish from like all the shit that I left there. And of course, he does. Out of nowhere, he just picks like shit from the stuff that they messed up, and then as soon as she eats it, there's like, I don't know how to describe it. Like her clothes burst off, and like there's like eggs and bacon
Oh
flying everywhere, and it's like covering parts
yeah.
of her body, but she's naked. And then the other guys that are in there that also eat it, like their clothes burst off, and they're only like covering
I
their
forgot
lower
that show
regions.
did that.
So it's it's like stuff like that happens a lot. And if you're
It's
gonna
like
watch this anime,
it's like their orgasm meme.
exactly. So like if you're gonna watch this anime, headphones is your best friend. Put on some
Like
headphones. There's so many
oh,
crazy noises in there that you cannot ever watch that out loud if you have parents around or if you have like roommates. You're gonna get judged for watching that. I mean, hey, if you don't care and you are an otaku at heart and you just want to be whatever, man. I like what I like. Hey, power to you. For me, you're
facts.
never gonna catch me watching that outside of the house, dude. Like that stuff is just too much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay,
But yeah,
okay. Yeah, I completely forgot that happened when they take a bite and they lose their fucking mind. I forgot all about that shit.
yeah.
By
So
the way, they're on like what, like the fifth season right now? Like this show has been going on for a while.
yeah,
So,
so this is a good show to binge watch. Of course, if you're into it. Yeah, and the etchy only gets better, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't want to say worse, but if you're into that stuff, hey, you're gonna have a good you're gonna have a good time.
by the way, as we were talking about all this, I remembered another show that would be on my, it's for sure on my top five.
Oh,
I
okay.
just, it just popped in my head. I was like, oh, how could I forget about the show? Is I don't know the full name, but Madoka Magica.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's they take the the magical girl genre and then they do something really different with it. It's a lot of fun. Uh, it's not really fun actually. It's a really crazy story. I don't want to give too much away just for someone who hasn't seen it because at a certain point the show grips you.
Oh,
Okay, I don't know. Have you seen Madoka Magica?
I have not, but again, it's one of those where
Oh
I
my
not even
god.
you, but I've heard about it before, and I know it's like
Oh
a
my
pretty good one to
god.
watch.
It's one of the best things I've ever seen. It's like the show starts one way, and by episode three, it shows what it's really about.
Hmm. Okay.
So when you watch, okay, like let's say you're gonna give it a chance, or anybody listening, you say, you know what, I'm gonna give this a chance. I'm gonna check the show out. Don't give up on it until you finish episode three, because episode one and two, it's kind of like it's kind of setting things up for you. Like these are the characters, this is what's going on or whatever. Episode three hits and it's like, okay, now this is what the show's really about.
Okay.
And if you're not in by episode three, then just drop it.
Hmm.
But I promise you, on everything that I believe in, you will be hooked on episode three. By the time that episode 3 ends, you're gonna be like, I need to see episode 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, and you're gonna binge watch it. You're gonna go for it, and you're gonna see all of it. I'm telling you, this show does. I can't say no more. I gotta be quiet. I gotta shut up. Give it a chance. Watch it. If there's any anime that I recommend in this podcast today, is Madoka Magica. Fuck everything else I said. Ignore
Oh,
everything else I said today. Everything. Cowboy Bebop, even though it's a great show and it's legendary. K-On, Fully Cooley. Ignore all that shit. Ignore the shows that I'm watching that I talked about that I'm watching now. Black Lagoon and the one with the girl who's the bad guy. Fuck all them shows. Watch Madoka Magica. That's it.
oh, okay. Well, I guess with that being said, we can kind of wrap this thing up. We've been talking for quite a bit, and yeah. So, any last words, Rafa, before we close this up?
Um, we have a Twitter, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do.
Follow us
So,
on Twitter
that Twitter is definitely, I believe it's twitter.com/Bento Boxcast.
at Bento Boxcast.
Yes, sir.
Follow us, get updates to the Twitter. We'll let you know what's going on. The podcast. This is on YouTube, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
I'm assuming. If you guys enjoyed what you guys heard and watched today, go ahead and let us know. Like the video, throw out
Yes.
some comments. What's some anime you're watching? What stuff you're watching this season, or what's some of your favorite anime? Let us know in the comments. We'll love to read them. Maybe there's some anime that we haven't seen that we could check out for ourselves. That's the one thing I want to do, Hector. That's one thing that I want to do more is actually take people's recommendations and actually watch them. You know,
Oh.
because I don't, and that's and, I'm honestly I'm a hypocrite. I'm gonna say it right now, I'm a hypocrite because I give so much shit to everybody else, including you. Alex and John are friends. I recommend them so many anime, and for the most part, they don't really watch any of it.
Hmm.
They maybe some here and there, and but for the most part, they tend to ignore what I recommend. Uh, and then I get mad. I'm like, man, you guys are fucking. This is an awesome show. You guys are not watching it. But to be fair, I kind of ignored some of your suggestions. Like for example, Ray Zero. I watched like half of the season. I haven't even finished it yet. And I know you told me about Ray Zero before and how good it is.
Yeah.
Um, and I haven't finished it, and it's been a long time since I started. So that's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to be more open to anime suggestions. So if you guys out there have any suggestions or any anime that we haven't talked about, you guys feel might be something good for us, something that we'll enjoy, let us know. I'll check it out. I'll for sure check it out, and I'll bring it up next time if you guys do.
Yeah.
Subscribe for sure if you guys enjoy what you guys heard today. You guys get an update. As of right now, we're doing this every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Twice a
Something like
month,
that. Yeah.
give or take twice a month. That's kind of what we're aiming for. So if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe, hit that bell notification because YouTube likes to fuck around and not tell you when a new video comes out. I have a lot of subscriptions out there that I miss a lot of shows, a lot of my videos because YouTube doesn't tell me shit. Hit the bell icon so you get notified, so you keep up with us because we're gonna have some good stuff, some
Oh
really
yeah.
funny stuff.
Definitely. And yeah, Twitter link will be in the description, of course. And stick along, guys. Like it's gonna be a fun ride. We're gonna talk about so many different things. And yeah, thanks for listening. And thanks. That's it. That's all I can think. Bye,
All right,
guys.
bye guys.